Your initial reaction after guiding Coleraine through the preliminary round of the Europa League?
I don't think of an adjective probably that could describe it. Delighted, absolutely delighted, and it's not for the players, not even for the fans. I just think the whole club. It was just something I just really wanted to achieve this, and really wanted to make sure. I probably put myself under a lot of pressure tonight, more than anything else, maybe more than I needed to, but I just really wanted it. And I think with the club have been, since I've been here, the club have been outstanding, and it hasn't always been the best, particularly in the early years, but the club are very much a standby club, and probably more than anything, particularly since COVID has come in and everything that's happened with it, the way they've stood by and looked after players from board level down, and how they've took care of business and everything else that needed to be taken care of has been second to none. And I suppose for me tonight, that's probably my biggest reason for wanting to get over the line tonight and give the club obviously the financial reward of extra money, which will be brilliant for the club. But it's more of a thank you, because, and I said it to the players as well, because yes, it's our job to look after what's out on the pitch, but you don't always get looked after as well as you get looked after from above. And as I say, throughout COVID and everything else, you've heard lots of stories of other bits and pieces of things that have happened in clubs and players and everything else that goes with it. And our boys have been treated superbly. But with that, you want to repay the favour, if you know what I mean. And to me, the only way we could repay the favour was by getting over the line tonight and getting through tonight. And so from that point of view, we're just over the moon. And
a great deal of maturity shown by the players too, because I mean they made it difficult for you, and going into the game you were big favourites, obviously one leg at home against San Marino opposition. People would have expected you to win comfortably perhaps, and it was never going to be like that, and for your players to keep going till the last minute.
The only people I think who expected that were people on the outside who by all accounts look at bookmakers, things and all the rest. And there's a couple of clear facts here, and the first fact is our coefficient is 1.2 and their coefficient is 3.0. The second fact is we were in the pot of unseeded teams and they were in the pot of seeded teams. And when you look at those couple of things, from what I'm hearing of what people were saying today or whatever else, it's crazy, and I don't understand why. Because when you take the facts into the matter, as I say, they were seeded, we weren't. So from our point of view, we've never approached it that way. We never looked at it that way. And to be honest, they were as dogged as I expected them to be, and I didn't expect them to come here and roll over. I thought second half in particular, the benefit of us being in training for the last couple of months, of having 6 games behind us, it really showed, and I thought we get stronger and stronger. But it's always that bit of quality in that decisive finish, and when you see Oran trainers pass back, when you see James's first touch, which just absolutely kills the centre half and the finish, it's a thing of beauty. And as I say, we're over the moon.
And the fact that you've got through in Europe, there's not too many Korean teams and Korean managers have accomplished that. So you must feel, as a group, a collective bit of pride.
We do, absolutely, and it's about setting records and trying to hit records, and even right down to, they had a few comments on their website and stuff like that about the videos that they watched of us and all the rest. So it made the team talk easy as well, which was good, and it's things like that you want to go and try and prove right. So no, I think as a whole collective, we're delighted to create a history, but more importantly, I think it's brilliant to get through the next round. And as I said to the players pre-game, do you want to be stuck in work a couple of days next week, or do you want to be away to Slovenia to play at a fantastic stadium and gain another fantastic football experience? So all credit to them, they've grabbed that with 2 hands.
It's fair to say, sorry Aaron, just last one from me, fair to say next week against Maribor is like a free hit really, isn't it? I mean, you're in the first round proper, people expect Maribor to win, you go there's no pressure on you.
Yeah, tonight was a pressure one, and I've said that at the start. Tonight was the one I think that we'd all put ourselves under pressure, where there's some fixtures in Europe where possibly you're getting into it and you're thinking it's going to be really backs against the wall. There's other fixtures in Europe where you feel that you're going into it with a real chance, and I just felt tonight we had a real chance because their season shut when our season shut, and there were similarities there that gave us a good opportunity to do something. So from that point of view, we're over the moon that we've got that tie now, and I'll not go into it probably with the same stress as I went into this one.
That's just from looking back at the game, I suppose the whole squad's getting a bit, and the whole club in general is getting a bit more European savvy, in terms of playing these games. But tonight, a few early bookings, big tackles going in early on, it's a whole different style of refereeing. Was that something you talked about?
No, you wouldn't have thought of it, yes. We'd mentioned it and spoke about it, and spoke about certain things that they maybe do in our league that would warrant a yellow card. You'll not get away with, could be really risky tonight. And we spoke about the fact of the way that they would be, and they would possibly try to antagonise and every trick in the book, and it did turn out to be like that. And we had to take Josh off at half time for the fear of that if he stepped into anything or somebody threw a leg at him, that he could have had a red card, and it was too big a night for that. And we could, as much as I didn't want to be making a sub at that point in time, we felt our hands were tied. Oran Trainer picked up a silly yellow as well, but to be fair to him, I thought his discipline in the second half was superb.
As it rumbled on, the longer the match went on, was extra time on your mind?
Of course it was on your mind, and again we spoke about it pre-game where. And I think you have to be prepared for that, and I always felt with the history of the amount of training that they had compared to us, I still would have fancied extra time. I still would have felt that it would have looked pretty much like the last half hour had a looked of the game, and it would have been us knocking on the door trying to get something. Listen, there's nothing beats a last minute winner, and it was 2 minutes of time got on the board as well. Makes it even better, so it couldn't have finished a nicer way.
2 subs made a big difference, I thought.
Yeah, they did, and listen, it's again, it's the importance of the club, and you speak about the importance of the club, and also knowing tonight that it could have went 120 minutes. Curtis wouldn't have 120 minutes. Skinner probably would have 120 minutes, but maybe not at the level that you would want. He could probably stand on the pitch for 120 minutes. Curtis the same, but tonight was a night where you wanted people at full throttle the whole way, and it's reminded me in the past. There was a couple of games here, I think, a few years ago when we came close to the league. There was a game against Cliftonville here where Skinner was carrying a wee bit of a knock, and it was one of those, do you start him or do you end him in the game, and he came on the last half hour and turned it, and we won 2-1 with a late Jamie penalty. So it's little things like that. The players sometimes don't understand as well. Skinner's not the happiest, which is fine, but at the end of the day he's a winner and he wants to play football and he wants to start every game, but he also has to understand the big picture in relation to that. It's about trying to manage a way and trying to find a way to get over the line. And I thought him particularly in that last half hour, I thought when we mentally possibly could have started to question, is it ever going to come? I thought he gave a good lift and ruffled feathers, and it was just probably the right man at the right time.
It's probably not, maybe too early to talk about it, but Maribor next week, I suppose you...
No idea.
Not knowing much about La Fiorita, or not being able to see much about them, but there should be plenty of Maribor.
There should. And again, I believe it's possibly a nice international stadium, possibly they play out where Northern Ireland have played at before, and by all accounts it's a brilliant setup and everything else. So, and again, that was a big part of the team talk tonight. You're trying to enthuse the players to say, listen, do you want to go on and have that experience and live that for a couple of days, which would be fantastic. So it's brilliant, and we'll really look forward to it.